Hey everybody, welcome to Studio 64. My name's David, been searching the interzones for some more science, space and tech news to share with you. And I came across this at the New York Post. Yeah, it's because I'm a bit of a Star Wars head. I was one of those kids in 1977 that lined up around the block for the 18th time to see the movie over and over again. Yes, here we go. Fired Mandalorian actor Gina Carano moved to tears after victory against Disney in her Elon Musk funded lawsuit. This is really interesting, actually. Gina Carano's lawsuit against the Walt Disney Company and subsidiary Lucasfilm lives to see another day. A Los Angeles federal judge has denied Disney's motion to dismiss the lawsuit, which was filed by Carano after she was ousted from the Disney Plus Star Wars-linked streaming series The Mandalorian 3 years ago, after social media posts comparing the political climate in the US to the Holocaust. Interesting. Yes, I wonder how many people continue to watch The Mandalorian after Gina left. Yes. Yeah, not many. I stopped watching it after she left too. I thought she was fantastic in it. Now, US District Judge Sherilyn Peace Garnett, who was appointed to the bench by President Biden, rejected Disney's claim Wednesday that it had a right to disassociate its own artistic message from Carano's outspoken political beliefs. Yes, the Post has sought comment from Disney. And there's the lovely Gina. Yes, I always find it interesting. Strong and empowered women, we love them, according to Disney, unless it's Gina Carano exercising a right to free speech. We love strong and empowered women as long as they shut up. Go for it, Disney. Yeah, good on you. Bloody hell. Yeah, so very, very interesting character, Gina Carano, former MMA fighter, I believe. Fantastic. Absolutely amazing stuff. Yeah, and over on Twitter. Yeah, so well, X as it's now known, I moved to tears. Yes, the court denies defendant's motion. I moved to tears after brutal 3.5 years. I'm being given the opportunity to move forward in the court of law before the judge and my peers to clear my name. I'm also grateful for this opportunity. Yeah, so there's the post, and I'll leave the link to the X post under here. And let's just hear a little bit from the lady herself. This should be.
I read this somewhere. It's like, don't try to ruin my life with lies when your life can be ruined with the truth. And you got billion-dollar companies raining down on me from every different place. And do I really even need to say anything? Like, you're showing it. You're showing what you do to people. You're showing you don't give them a voice. You're showing you're not going to listen. You're not going to see a person past, what you've read in a very skewed article. You're showing what bullies you are against one voice here. One. I'm that petrifying to these billion-dollar companies? Well, good. I hope I am. And I hope everybody else becomes that. I mean, this is what they're afraid of. They're afraid of one voice. Imagine.
Well,
Yeah, very interesting that, wasn't it? Again, you can disagree or agree with Gina Carano, but of course then when somebody else comes out and says it and they're not fired, well, says the opposite, if you know what I mean. So one person can have an opinion, another person can't. I might disagree with someone's opinion, but what right do I have to silence them? I don't have any right. And there we go, there's the from the court document. Conclusion. In sum, defendants have failed to set forth, that's Disney, the defendant, set forth an impenetrable defense under the First Amendment. That's right, America's freedom of speech. We supposedly have that in Australia too, but of course, like America, ours is under attack as well. And as I say, I might disagree with you. Got no right to say. And look, if we all say the same things and agree on the same points, A, how boring would life be? And secondly, we're never going to learn from each other. Yeah, so it is so ordered, date July 24, 2024. There we go. Accordingly, for the foregoing reasons, the court denies defendant's motion. That's the Honourable Sherilyn Peace Garnett, United States District Judge. So, yeah, victory for Gina Carano and free speech. And I, for one, am all for it. As I said, even if I disagree with what she said, she definitely has a right to say it, as far as I'm concerned, yeah. I am moved to tears, Carano wrote on her X account on Wednesday in response to the ruling. After brutal 3.5 years, I'm being given the opportunity to move forward in the court of law before the judge and my peers to clear my name. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. Carano is being represented by attorneys who are hired by Elon Musk's social media company X. And that's another reason why Elon is being attacked, you know? And if Elon wanted to support somebody with a different opinion, I'd be fine with that as well. I wouldn't agree with it, but that's fine. In February 2021, Carano was fired from the cast of The Mandalorian after she sparked outrage on social media where she denounced COVID lockdowns and claimed the Conservatives were being persecuted. Yes, they were. Yet somebody on the left side of politics can say something and there were no consequences. Come on, that's ridiculous. Yeah, completely stupid. I might not agree with what you say. I'm more of a moderate. I'm more in the middle, shall we say. But as long as you're not out there attacking somebody physically, you can say what you like. They're just words. I mean, people go, but words, Davey, they hurt my nafifis. Oh, get over yourself. I went to a goddamn Catholic school. I was bullied by family members, students, and the goddamn nuns. And believe me, you don't want to be bullied by a nun when you're a kid. It's a lot worse. Some of the things they said to me were worse than the damn students. So, just their words. If you don't like them, don't do it. It's like, I remember if there's somebody I can't believe there are people on social media that a lot of people hate, but they follow them. Well, if you hate them, why do you follow them? So I can see what they say next so I can hate them more. Jesus, you got it bad. That to me is ridiculous. Carano fell under heavy criticism after she posted the Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbours, even children, and that was very, very true. The actor continued to say, because history is edited, most people don't realise that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up 1,000 Jews, the government first made their own neighbours hate them simply for being Jews. How's that any different from hating someone for their political views? Yeah, exactly. I find it ironic that Disney would fire Gina Carano for this when the founder, Walt Disney, was a big fan of the Mustache Man. That's right, he was. Until America went in on the opposite side during Second World War, and immediately Walt Disney started writing some very large checks to Jewish organisations so he could virtue signal, so they could write really nice articles about him. Oh, lordy, lordy. I love historical irony. It's like all these people running around saying, I'm anti-racist and I hate the white people. Oh, okay. Then why are you wearing Adidas then? If you don't know the origins of Adidas and Puma, there was Rudolf Dassler and Adi Dassler. Rudolf started Puma, and of course Adidas was Adolf Dassler, Adi Dassler. And they were making jackboots for the Nazis during the Second World War. I find that interesting. Very interesting indeed. Now, Carano, who played the recurring character Cara Dune on the Star Wars series, deleted the post, but it was widely shared online and spurred the Fire Gina Carano hashtag to trend. Isn't it interesting? Other people will say something just as, shall we say, spicy, as the young kids say these days, but was there hashtag fire somebody else? No, of course there wasn't. And the almighty criticism of you, Gina, is that you deleted the post. Yes, here we go. Now, yep, there's her post there. Absolutely amazing. Jews are beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but their neighbours, even by children. Yep, because history is deleted, is edited. And that's exactly right. They said, oh, well, this is what the people want, because the propaganda was so heavy that Jews were made the target. Now, it's quite interesting. The Nazis chose the Jews, not, they said, who can we blame for everything? Give us an excuse. And it was the Jews. Now, during the days of the coup, there was people who didn't want to get jabbed. And the neighbours would dob them in, or, people who had the coup, that person was in their backyard, you better go and investigate them. Just completely insane. That person's not wearing a mask. Good Lord. And then when they're compared to what happened during World War, leading up to World War II, oh, I'm offended by that, but you're doing exactly the same things as this was happening in 30s Nazi Germany. Dear Lord. Her character appeared in several episodes of the second season of The Mandalorian, a series about a bounty hunter and his quest to unite a powerful young user of the Force with a Jedi Knight. Now, Carano, a former mixed martial artist whose Dune character used a mix of heavy weapons in her fists to best opponents, had been criticised for social media posts that mocked mask wearing during the pandemic and alleged voter fraud during the 2020 presidential election. Yeah, interesting. And hey, you know, you can agree or disagree with any of those points, but you still have a right. As long as you do it in an intelligent and calm manner, as long as you're not like a screaming, raving loony, that's perfectly fine. And the opposite goes as well. All right? I find a lot of people on the left side of politics are a little bit on the strange side when it comes to, now not all, but a lot of them. You try and have a rational conversation, and next the foul language starts and the yelling and the screaming, and I'm going, well, slow down. I don't even know what you're saying. You know, it's just crazy. You know, as I said, just calm your farm, as the expression goes. Let's have an adult conversation about it. We're not children here. We may disagree with each other. That doesn't mean we have to resort to being, you know, childish, mindless, squabbling primitives. Yeah. There we go. Today's an important day for me, she said. I'm filing a lawsuit against Disney. That was back in February, after my 20 years of building a career from scratch and during the regime of former Disney CEO Bob Chapek. Lucasfilm made this statement on Twitter, terminating me from The Mandalorian. Yeah. She also mocked the use of gender pronouns, listing bebop boop in her social media bio. And to get some context with that, she didn't know what pronouns were at that point, so she put bebop boop in. And then the next thing you know, everyone's like, "Hey, you transphobic, you goddamn bigot." And she had said, "What are you talking about? Like, seriously?" Like, and then that became some rallying cry. You know, or as the left say, dog whistle, you know, for hatred of the LGBT community. No, she just didn't know what they were at that point. And even if she had put that in, like, is that particularly, you know, if she had to put in something, you know, I hate all LGBTQs and I want them to, you know, not be alive, now that I could understand. But this was simply bebop boop. I mean, good Lord. What are you reading into stuff? Dear, oh dear. Earlier this year, Carano wrote a lengthy post on X, which she praised Elon Musk, the Tesla CEO, for his noble offer to financially back her lawsuit. Yeah, I still think it's hilarious, you know, with the left saying that, you know, we love strong and empowered women, except when they open their mouths. I've said it before and I'll say it again. That is hilarious. Yes. She wrote, never in my wildest dreams would I have thought anyone would take my case against Lucasfilm Disney. I would like to express my deepest gratitude and thank you to Elon Musk at X for giving me an opportunity to bring my case to light, Carano wrote. Yes, it seems apparent that her termination resulted from her social media posts, and she's likely to be able to prove that at trial. Rich Schoenstein, a trial attorney and partner with Manhattan law-based firm Tata, Krinsky and Drogan, told the Post. That's another thing. Why do all these law firms have such weird names in their titles? Like, you know, giant bottom explosion, you know, and associates. You see this all the time, you know. Yeah, we are raving lunatics and associates or something. Not disparaging these guys, but you know what I mean. Like, you see these signs everywhere for law firms, you know, raving loony nut jobs and associates. You know, it's like, what the hell? Fascinating. Yes, the bigger question is whether the trial court's decision on the law will survive on appeal, as this raises a fundamental issue about the rights of employees to make public statements that may not align with the positions of their employers. Yes, that's very interesting. Very interesting indeed. I do remember it was entertaining at the time of the coup, where a lot of companies in Australia's attitude was, no, we believe in freedom of choice. You can choose to have the jab or not have the jab. It's entirely up to our employees. Now, if you haven't got the jab, you can't work here anymore. I'm going, hang on a minute. You said it was our freedom of choice to have the jab or not have the jab. But really, it came down to the fact you have a choice whether you want to work or not want a job or not have a job. Interesting, isn't it? A lot of double speak there. Yeah, lots of 1984 Orwellian stuff. But as I said, I'm glad Gina Carano has progressed this stage with her lawsuit, because the lady does need a lot of support. Just because I disagree with, I might disagree or agree with her, does not mean she should be treated like that. It's exactly the same as, politics in general. I mightn't agree with, the policies of the socialist government here in Australia, or or even agree with some of the policies of the Conservative opposition. But that doesn't mean I want any harm to come to the leaders. I don't want anything like that to happen. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I hear people, in media here in Australia saying things all the time I don't disagree with. Am I going to get there and start attacking them? No, that's ridiculous. Let them have, we agree to disagree. It's not that difficult. That's what civilized people do. Funny about that, isn't it? All right, well, my name is David. Thanks for joining me for another Studio 64 Science, Space and Tech News update. I shall see you in the next one. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you're up for it, drop a comment down below the video, because I'd love to hear what you think. All right, take care. And as I always say, if you can't be good at it. And as I also always say,
a fascinating cultural development. This is fascinating.